DotP plays Small World. Welcome everybody to DotP plays Small World 2. So I wanted to bring this in with this awesome grooving music and talk a little bit about what Small World is really quick. It's a board game for 2 to 5 players, 6 with both versions and tunnel expansions. It was published by Days of Wonder, designed by Philippe Caortze. It is a fantasy territory-grabbing game set in a world of goblins, trolls, and ratmen, all setting out to claim their space in the realm. It has won Meeple's Choice Award, it has won the Game Magazine Award, and it has won the Golden Ace Jury Prize Award. It was also featured on that really cool Geek and Sundry podcast that Leisha whatever does, and they're really popular. It was good. They played a game of Small World, and that's how I found it and introduced it to this group, where I just introduced it to Eric. With me, I have Cyphus, of course.
And who the hell are you?
And I'm Roland, of course. Fuck you, dude. And of course we have Easy Marquise.
The one and only.
The one and only. And I wanted to start this episode by talking to Eric. He played his first game about, I don't know,
2-3 nights ago?
Yeah, about a week, actually, it's been. But he played his first game with me. We went over, basic strategy. And I kind of wanted to hear what you thought about the learning curve, what you thought about how long a game of this takes.
Maybe Easy, as the newer player to it, give everybody a rundown of how the game works from your perspective.
Sure.
Okay, so as a person who has never played Small World before, I guess the first question is, what the fuck is Small World? If you don't understand, the description that Roland just gave, because it was a storybook version of the game, it's like a board game, and it actually is a board game that's been digitized. So you're looking at a map that is carved up into territories, and Roland compared it to Risk when he was describing it to me at the beginning, and that you use units to try to control those territories, and you score coins for yourself by depending on what territories you hold. The thing that makes this game really cool, and what's kind of got its hooks in me with Small World, is your units. It's not like you have it's a fantasy setting, right? So you have there's castles and all that kind of shit on the map, and everything's fairies and goblins and all of that. But it's not like you have a fairy, and the fairy is this kind of a unit that does these things. They're mixed with a trait, and the way that those are combined is randomized every game. So there's actually an element to this game that you can't prepare for, which I really like in a game. I don't like the fact that people tell me there's a certain way that I have to build a certain character in Dota. I don't like the way that when someone says in Magic the Gathering, if you don't have this fucking deck, you can't win against this other player.
Can we get a
Hangman Brothers?
To me, that's a fail in the design of the game, right? Everybody should have a fair chance to win the game. And this game, I think, is cool because it makes all these crazy combinations. And Roland did make a point that if you are someone who is aware of what a swamp ghoul is versus a heroic dwarf, then yeah, you might have an advantage over me who doesn't know that. But
you can read them.
You're playing with .p. So this is defense of the patience. When you're playing with us, no one's going to be poking and prodding you to hurry up. In fact, if you have a question, go ahead and ask, and you can figure it out. All the information's there for you on the board. So Roland was like, yeah, sure, let's go ahead. Let's read those things together. Let's talk about what a heroic dwarf actually is. And, to use that as an example of what a trait and a character does, heroic is a trait that lets you place down these 2 icons at the end of your turn, and where those icons are, the other enemy can't attack you, and you're immune in those spots, so you can use them to kind of block from getting pushed in a region.
And just use them to keep a single unit guarding a territory instead of having to keep multiples there to prevent it like you normally would.
And real quick, I'll read
it gets deep.
It gets really deep, and I'm gonna get a little bit deeper into it, just so you guys understand.
Well, no, wait. He was explaining that was the trait, and then the race.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. The race. That's what I was gonna get into. I have right here.
Oh, okay.
Go for it. Go.
Okay.
What's a dwarf all about, dude?
So for instance, there are, it looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's a bunch, and if you buy the expansions, you get even more. The Cursed expansion comes with goblins and kobolds. The Be Not Afraid comes with barbarians.
Dwarves, what do they do?
Homunculi. The dwarves, in specific. So the important thing is you get an attribute card and you get a race card, and they're randomly shuffled. So every game is different. And on the attribute card, there's a number, and on the race card, there's a number. You add those two numbers together, and that's how many of those units you get for your turn.
And then as an easy example, so we had the heroic dwarves. Heroic does what we described, and then dwarves have their own special ability to gain coins.
And what dwarves do is each mine region your dwarf occupies, and a mine region is a little thing indicated on the map in red, is worth 1 bonus victory coin at the end of your turn, even when these dwarves are in decline. So that means that basically when you're playing the game, you pick up the dwarves, you want to pick a new race, which is a very important element of Small World, and we'll get into this, I'm sure. The dwarves are still gaining you an extra victory coin for that region that they occupy until somebody conquers it.
So now it's
complex. Yeah. I mean, it is, but it's small learning curve.
The way turn order basically goes is there are 6 races available.
Yes.
And you can choose the top one for free.
There are more races than that, but...
Well, there are 6 race trait combos initially.
That you can choose from.
Everybody starts a game with 5 coins. You can take the first race trait combo for free, or you can opt to select one of those further down, but for each one you pass up, you place a coin on it.
Yes.
Then you take your race, you play, you conquer your territory, you score your coins. Mm-hmm. It passes to each of your allies, or each of your opponents, who do the exact same thing, and when it gets back to you, you have the option of either continuing on with this race to gain coins because you think it's advantageous, or put them in decline, where they can't actively do anything, only 1 unit is left in each territory you control, and you get 1 coin for so long as they remain there. You can't attack with them, you can't do anything with them. Then on your next turn, you get to pick a race again.
Yep.
And so, in turn order proceeds, you do a set number of turns depending on the number of players, and finally, at the end of the game, player with most coins wins.
So yeah, the benefits are endless. It's fun, and the cool thing about it is it's like a hero in Dota, like I don't know, Juggernaut. Easy to play, say. Really hard to master. Maybe maybe that's the worst example. It's really easy to jump on and have a good time with it and still score well, because a lot of it there's a random aspect. There's a die, the most special die I've ever seen. That 50% of it is blank, and then the other 50% is a I don't know,
1, 2, or a 3.
1, 2, or 3. Yeah, it's a really cool game. What I enjoy most is the phone thing, where Cyphus can throw a turn at me, and I can take my turn and put my phone back in my pocket. And if I don't get to it in a half an hour, it's not a big deal. It's that type of game. There's nothing serious about Small World.
Yeah.
And that's the point. There's not supposed to be. It's
asynchronous, so if you set the limit to be we've got a game going right now that's got a 15-day limit, it's like playing chess with your friends. You get a notification that, hey, it's your turn. You hop onto your board, you take a look at what's going on, you make your selection, you play your turn, and it sends a message to the next player, hey, it's your turn.
But it is also fun to play a game, I mean, just straight up.
Oh,
yeah, that's what we were doing the other night. That was a ton of fun.
Because if you're taking your turns back to back and you're all dedicated to it, they really don't take long. I mean, they're like 25 minutes maybe.
I think when
long
you get
one,
good,
maybe 30.
If I knew what was going on, it would be like a 15-20 minute game, right?
If not less. I think we played we would have 4 or 5 going simultaneously, you and I.
Yeah.
And we would be betting on each one.
Yeah.
We'd be like, I'm not betting 10 on that one, I'm betting 5 on the other.
Yeah.
And we would just go ridiculous, I owe you $40. Okay. No, now you owe me $60. We would bet on these Small World games because we both found it around the same time. I found it and I went and bought the board game at my local nerd store, whatever you call them.
Seems crazy.
And we put it together, and we're like, we weren't even going to play it because there were so many fucking pieces.
Oh, man.
Coins,
it was daunting.
Little cards, and we had to figure out how the fuck it worked. And once we did, we were fucking enchanted, and we were stuck inside of the Small World.
And then we found that they had digital copies available on Steam.
And so we all played it on our phones, iPads, and computers. So your phone can sync up with Steam. If you take a turn on your phone, it'll take a turn also on Steam. So for people that are sitting at their desk, it's compatible to iPads, to phones, to every device out there. So,
oh, dude, Joe Schmo, do you hear that? We can play while you're at work, dude.
Yeah,
oh, yeah.
It's a great work game, is what I was going to say.
Yeah.
It's a great kill the day with Small World 2.
Man, I really don't want to do. Oh God, I've been writing on this document for 25 minutes.
I'm gonna play a game of Small World.
It's my turn. I can,
or just go online. They have a great matchmaking system that they're implementing, where it's like an ELO base, kind of like chess, where you do start to play harder players if you get better.
Yeah.
And it's it's a cool game. It has a lot to do with it lends a lot to strategy, and I don't know. I've been having a blast with it.
Yeah.
The strategy comes from the way that you're using those units. Like we were talking about heroic dwarves, and that sounds like a unit like you would think of in Risk, but the next game they might be hill dwarves or spirit dwarves or whatever, because those are
worse,
the things
merchant
that are randomly
dwarves.
Yes.
seafaring ghost ladies or whatever the fuck there is, like hill wizards. Like it takes the trait and it mixes it with a race randomly, and that's what everybody has to choose from. And there's a cost associated with going down the list. And I asked Roland this, and because your brain thinks like, okay, if I have to pay 8 coins to get a hill knight, that must be a powerful fucking thing.
Yes.
That's not necessarily true. That is not. That stack is
no.
not
Sometimes that's a shit race.
Yeah.
That you're praying to God you never have to pay a coin to get.
And there's some shit
as a new
races.
player.
Oh, there's some shit races. Honestly, I think dwarf anything kind of suck, except for maybe merchant dwarves, like he was saying.
I won a dwarf game, dude. I rocked the mountains with a dwarf.
No, the dwarves.
You need like flying dwarves is what you need, and then to go and decline the very next turn.
Flying
I like to think of it this way.
Ridiculous! What'd you just say?
You can have flying dwarves. You can have flying dwarves. That is a possible race combination, ability combination.
I think catapult dwarves sounds funny.
Catapult dwarves would be good for dwarves actually, because they have such few number. They're such little pussies.
It'd be able to. That actually would be good because you can get to more mining spaces.
I'm all about the giants. I'm all about the skeletons. Watch out for my skeletons if we ever play.
And you'll pay to get them.
They don't.
It's your weakness.
Oh, I will fucking pay every dime I have to be the skeletons just to watch them multiply. And I've had games where I have like 30 skeletons around the map, but it's a hard thing to do.
Yeah.
My name Hill Gypsy.
So, but I think dwarves. I think the dwarves are a great example for us to discuss here because they're kind of like they're a race that is investing in the long term, which is something you can think about with this game. Like that first race you grab, why not pick up the dwarves and grab a couple of territories and know that others are more than likely going to move on somewhere else, and I can throw that race into decline on the next turn and rely on getting their little extra in decline bonus. You know. Mm-hmm. And the game makes you, or the game rewards you for thinking in the long term.
It does.
You know,
it's
variables associated with those traits in those races are all so cool. Like if you control this land or that land, or you're going to get bonus coins if you move on to another space that has a unit. Like if you're an orc, you get a bonus for doing what an orc would fucking do and roll through the battlefield. Like that's going to give you a bonus coin for each land you take. Like that's fucking badass. And then whatever their trait is going to have some other like alteration or variable that's going to give you a bonus, or maybe it's a seafaring orc where it's like, dude, if you're just circling around the ocean capturing the land, you're going to fucking rock up bonus coins. Like that's cool. I think that's a really fun aspect of the game. For me, that's what's got me hooked. That's why I went and got the expansion packs, because it was just like more characters. Like okay, sure.
Yes, indeed. It's a, and in Small World 2, the variables like you said are infinite. Every single game you go in, you're like, okay, first things first, I read the races, and once you play it like I'd say 10 times, you start to get familiar with every special power and every race, and you start to say, okay, we've got mounted elves. I know the elves can't die, but do I want to make a sprint for land? Do I want to make a sprint for conquering? Do I want, and it's just things that you think about and you try and think ahead, and but yet it has this funny theme to it. It has this theme where it's like, it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
It's contagious too. Absolutely.
I strangely have never, like, I've had games of, and I know I'm comparing this to board game, but we're doing this because it actually is a video game. And I think it's better in video game form.
It is better.
All the aforementioned
You can go to your
reasons.
nerd store and buy it if you want to play it with your family.
Playing the board game version of it, dude. Well, honestly,
it's a game you can bring your family.
Things moving. Mm-hmm. Yeah, bring your family's fucking iPads.
Yeah.
Why not? Everybody has a mobile
age.
device, dude. Why not play it like this way? It's so organized. It's so calculated. I mean,
and you won't. Yeah. You can't dispute, like, we would dispute, like, how many coins did you get on that one?
Yeah.
Because it seems like somebody has way too many coins.
Yeah, and that was an issue, because when you started collecting too many coins, suddenly everybody wondered, were you getting paid properly?
Yeah. Who was banking?
Yeah, this game does the math for you.
Yeah, so you don't...
It's arbitrated, you know?
Yeah, there's something that
But I never get upset over losing a Small World game. Though, like, I can remember getting, like, intense with, like, a game of Catan, you know?
Oh, well, Catan, I think, should be saved for another time. Because
Oh, sure. But I mean, like, as far
as
as, like, just to kind of demonstrate, like, it's your point. I mean, it is a very lighthearted game. It's intended to be
isn't.
ridiculous. No,
Catan has
not.
led to fights with Wazoo, so we did not start fighting with Dota 2. We started fighting, like, probably when I was, like, age 3. Is when I started grinding on his gears, but like
Catan, you little fucking prodigy.
Catan, like there have been games where like the fucking table gets slammed, or
I don't know how
like
to play that game.
or like you're just a fucking
easy.
pussy. You're just a fucking pussy that's protecting somebody else. You little bitch. You just want to give it and it's like, whoa, dude, calm down, man. It's just small world. It can create the demon in you, and I think it does
for sure.
But Small World
does not.
Small World cannot do that.
I challenge you to play a game of Small World and be mad about it.
I challenge you to a game of Small World for $10, and I'll win.
Oh no.
$10.
No, it is too variable. That was in kind of overlapping our poker days where we were looking for something that, like, I don't know, you could get better at and waste the time with,
but still had an element of chance.
And it was funny. It was definitely like the 21st century. You could have taken a picture of it and put it on the New Yorker. It was like all of us sitting in a circle on chairs, one person on a laptop and two people on iPads playing Small World for like hours, just like remarking back and forth at each other, like, "Oh, you picked the Hill Giants. What a noob!" And just like, and just we aren't really even looking at each other. We're just playing on our devices, and like you could literally snapshot that, put that on the New York Times, and say 21st century, stamp it down. Like that is what we do.
Yeah, it was like
it's kind of ugly. And you would get up and realize like, oh, I don't even need to stop playing. Like I can still take a pee.
I can go out for a smoke break. I'll just take my iPad.
Yeah. So people would be outside and playing. Oh, dude.
I would be smoking and laughing, like telling Roland about how his fiance was so completely stupid for grabbing that race. They
had a little rivalry. They had a little rivalry. She beat you though, if I recall, like 3 times in a row.
No, she beat me 2 times last night.
2 times in a row.
We tied, which almost never happens. We tied the first game.
which is a possibility for this game. When you're on the online version, you will find that when you're playing against bots or somebody else, you don't know how many coins they have. You can know if you count them. If you count at the end of every turn, if you keep a running total on your opponent, you can.
I try to keep a running total of who
you want to take down.
Yeah,
and it is a kind of stab your buddies game. Munchkin, I love on the cover. It says, have fun, stab your buddies, whatever. It's kind of like that where you take a turn and you just wipe somebody out. You just wipe them off the map, and it's like, there's your opportunity to win, and hopefully this is my opportunity to win, Especially when and there's 10 turns. That's another thing. Well, it's over in 10 turns.
Sometimes
or
it's
9.
over 8.
Or 9 or 8.
Yeah, depending on the number of players.
With 5 people, it's 8. With 4 people, it's 9. With 3 people, it's 10. 2 people, it's 10.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. The map changes as well with the more players you get. So you can get a group of 5 to sit down and play Small World.
Which is a blast, by
It
the
is
way,
a blast.
having 5 players. And 6 with the Underworld expansion,
yes.
if you try to do that.
Where you use both boards. The Underworld edition is basically different races, different powers.
They have an Underdark.
And you can go from where you saw the Underdark thing. You know how you could get like Underdark dwarves or whatever? You could go to the other map and then start conquering regions in that other map.
And different tunnels lead to different parts of that map.
We have access to that in what we're playing?
Maybe.
We might. I don't might just be on the board game.
Yeah.
But I did download that complete edition, so I'll see if it's on there.
So another cool thing about this company...
that was in the physical game you guys are talking about?
Yes.
But it might be in this one. I'm looking it up.
They have a Kickstarter. This is how this all started, and they raised... $394,000 with 7,044 backers. That's for Small World 2. That was to get Small World 2 out there on the market, and they definitely did it in a big way, as we all know because we're starting to play it.
They don't have the Underworld up yet.
Nope, because it's complex.
So we need to start the Small World 3 Kickstarter.
That's right.
Yeah.
Animated fights between my corrupt kobolds and my hill pygmies.
Well, I'll just go ahead and give the guys over at Days of Wonder a call and get them right on that.
Apparently they don't have Twitters or something. Wouldn't you think Days of Wonder would come up like number one? I tried like Small World 2 because you were talking about the tweet that I sent out that was too. I like tweeted like playing Small World # Small World _ and it just goes to some random. You were telling me it goes to some random place. Anyway.
It was like a Twitter site for a place that sold baby clothes or something. You tried to @ the name of the company, which is a Twitter handle, but it's not the company Twitter handle. It's this other one, which I thought was hilarious because I went to it because I was like, I'll follow them. This game is sick. And then I'm like, oh, never mind. I don't need any booties for my.
Yeah, that's not Small World, folks. If you're out there,
no,
it's not Small World.
So
this game is so sick and so casual. The whole time that we've been doing the Small World .p plays, I've been playing Small World and having a fucking great time, dude.
Oh yeah, is that why you seem out of it? No.
No, get out of here.
No, you're fine. And that's the other great thing about the game is you can carry on a conversation. You can take your turn, and a lot of it is waiting, I guess. That's why you open multiple games. Unless you're just playing a game straight up, which I totally suggest to do, because burning through like 3 or 4 games is fun, because you get to pick different race and special ability combos, and it's always fun. Like I'm still playing the game, and I guarantee I haven't played every combo.
Oh yeah, I mean it would take a long time.
And I've put that. I have like 66 hours of.
So do you have any race trait combos that stand out for you as like way too frequent?
I wanted to not way too frequent, but overpowered maybe. I think the skeletons. So what happens with the skeletons is if you take 2 territories with people inhabiting those territories. So if you conquer 2 territories, you get another skeleton. It's like you're raising the dead or something like that. So anything like I don't know, the dragon skeletons. You can have a dragon that'll automatically conquer a region for you just for 1 skeleton, and then nobody can attack that. So as skeletons to have some sort of protection, because you don't want your skeletons to die because you want them to keep multiplying and you want to take over the world and be the skeleton leader of the world.
I know you love skeletons because I've only played a handful of games with you, and I feel like every single one has had you fucking just rolling with skeletons. And I'm like,
he can't.
Cyphus, how's there 14 up there? What the fuck is this bogus game? Like, he's hacking.
Yeah, where it's like I have like 22 skeletons roaming the map and nobody can
infiltrate. In the config file, it's like rolling skeletons equals infinite.
I have a cheat engine. Rolling skeletons equals infinite. Oh, that's funny.
I feel like I see pillaging orcs way too often.
Pillaging orcs. I was going to say, pillaging anything. So, you're already always pillaging in the fucking game, basically. Except for the first few turns, you're pretty much conquering. So why not get pillaging? It gives you an extra coin for every time you conquer.
And then orcs on top of that give you an extra coin for every time you conquer.
Yeah, so if you have a good run with orcs, with pillaging orcs especially, you can rack up a 12-point turn, And that is something. When you start to play... a 12-point turn is a good turn. Like Eric, when he first played, I think he beat me, and he got like a 19-point turn or something like that, and he was like, "Oh, that's cool, yeah, like all those coins." And I was like, "Dude, that is a fucking good turn. Like that is I'm envious of a 19-point turn to have." Yeah, like
I said that, and I went and like signed up for the pro league, and I've gotten my ass kicked ever since.
And we kind of did. We started playing against people, and we would see the same people online, and
yeah.
Cyphus at one point was like 10 away from being the best Small World player.
Yeah.
Shut up,
I was.
Yeah, he was.
I was stupid. I was stupid close.
Mm-hmm. But small sample size.
Yeah.
Has that spark been reignited? Small sample size. Get out of here, dude.
This
doesn't matter, dude. If you're number 1,
this was like 18 months ago. So
it's fun being number 1 in our guild. Like if I can beat every .p player that comes to, if I can hold down the mountaintop and just fucking slay every .p guild member that comes to challenge me at Small World, I will feel like a champion.
That's
I don't have to be number 1 in the world. I just had to beat all my friends.
Yeah.
So if you guys want to play Small World, definitely hit us up.
And it's on Steam, by the way. I don't think anybody's mentioned
the summer sale.
The summer sale.
Which, actually, by the time this airs, it's probably over.
Oh, no.
So
sorry, guys.
No.
But it's
Hopefully you
cheap
can go back
anyway.
in time. It's just a cheap little game.
Hopefully you picked it up. If you didn't, put it on your wish list because Steam will send you an email and let you know the next time it goes on sale.
That's right.
I highly recommend picking it up.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't know
I
that.
highly recommend picking it up no matter what, but definitely if it's on sale. I grabbed it just to get an idea for the price you could get it for when it's on sale. I grabbed it for $3.99, which was a fucking steal. I know Cyphus is over there.
Yeah, it's
fuck that.
It's $10 normally, so if you do miss the Steam sale, that's there. And then each of the expansions are... Oh, or you can get the complete pack, which has all the expansions for $16. It's on sale for $12 right now if you can get to it. So yeah, that's worth it.
It's a great game. It would be a great time. Once again, go ahead and message me or add me as a friend if you want to play a game of Small World. I'll totally play a game of Small World. Like, it's so easy. We just go back and forth, and you can start to like flame people. They have like cool little emoticons, like one emoticon where it like shows your troops and they're like dying, or the guy swimming in gold.
It's doing like making a gold angel.
Yeah, it's so you can have fun even though it is a game that's turn based and you just kind of wait on your opponent.
And if you want to hear more, if you guys want to hear us delve into like Small World strategy, if any of you are interested,
there are videos. I'm sure. Didn't we record some videos of us playing Small World, Eric?
Yes, sir.
Well, and hit us
Stay
up
tuned for Small World streams on DotP TV,
Yes.
the Twitch and YouTube channel.
And let us know if you want to hear more Small World podcasts, because we enjoy the hell out of the game, and we'll probably do some in the future.
When everybody starts to, and this probably makes me sound like a huge dick, and as I was saying, it's like you sound like a huge dick. But
hey, heads up.
When
asterisk. You tell yourself that, bro. There's a good chance you're about to be a huge dick and just fucking put the brakes on it.
No, all I was gonna say was once you played like 50 games, you get really quick at it, and it's really fun to kind of theory craft around the board.
I disagree. I think the game has
we always talk about it. While we're playing the game, we're constantly talking.
Oh yeah, we are. No.
About,
I don't think it
here?
takes 50 games. I think you can start theory crafting with this game after like.
For
5
me,
games.
it took 50 games, is what I should say. I was like 50, and I was like, oh, that's what the skeletons do. Yeah. So that's why you had 20 of them. Oh, okay, because it says that on the card.
So you can relate that kind of learning curve to something similar in Dota, where it's like, okay, I understand, like I'm starting to see what fucking races are causing havoc out on the map, but I don't understand what they do. Then you start messing with them, you start to learn like what their abilities are. You read the description and you know, okay, I get what that variable does on the map. I'm going to use it to my advantage this game. And then you start to see it on the list and go, oh shit, that's going to be able to do that. Is that worth the number of coins it's going to cost me to access that race? So there's a progression of learning along this game where you basically get more and more knowledge that comes to you without having to dig into it. Mm-hmm. But it's still there for you to get to if you're like at my level where I don't know what a catapult wizard is, but I can pull that up and just roll with it. Yeah, it's a great game. So everybody, I want you to look out on the horizon for some other games. At the end of these, I think we can talk about some other games you may see. Look out for .p Plays Payday 2. It's going to happen here soon.
It's such a weird transition from Small World to Payday 2.
But you know what? Small World is a hard thing to continue to talk about. I want you guys to go and get it. I want you guys to go and play it. I want to talk about strategy with all of you. It's just kind of a hard thing to talk about until, you've played it a bunch of times. And we did a little bit of a tutorial, but just go and play it. That's the best way to learn it.
Absolutely.
If you just listen to a podcast to teach you how to play Small World, it would take like 5 episodes, probably. But you can't see the board. You want to be able to see the board and move the units and work the UI. Check it out.
And we'll send out a tweet the next time we're playing it, and feel free to come check it out and see if it's something that might, strike your fancy.
It's because Durka just logged into Payday 2 is why I said that. It was on my friend, and I was like, we are definitely going to play some .p Payday 2. Like, I can't wait to fucking rob some banks. .p robs banks. It's against the .p way, but it's okay in that universe.
Okay.
Yeah, it's okay in that universe to be, a criminal.
Yeah, fair enough.
Doing it for charity. We're giving it to St. Jude's.
Robin Hood. Yeah.
It's for the kids. It's all going to the Extra Life
That's
campaign.
Right. That's exactly what we do.
Yes.
You're absolutely right.
So we're gonna play some more games. I hope you enjoyed listening to us talk about Small World. I hope you pick it up. I hope to see you playing it with all of us, because it's the type of game that we can play as a community and just enjoy each other's company and have a game in the background instead of a game while our company is kind of in the background.
For sure.
So, Cyphus, go ahead and close out
All right.
DotP Plays.
Yeah, well, thanks guys for tuning in to DotP Plays Small World 2. Until next time, I'm your, well, I guess you're the host.
How many fucking times have you done this, dude?
I'm your host, Cyphus. Well, I was going to say, you brought it in, I know.
Okay.
That's why. I fell back on old.
I'm your host, Roland, saying good luck and Godspeed for Eric.
And I'm Cyphus.
And for Cyphus.
I was
gonna switch it up.
I was changing my name to Hill Gypsy.
You close it out, Eric. You close it out.
This is Hill Gypsy for Cyphus and Roland saying good luck and Godspeed. I said I was changing my name to Hill Gypsy. Name to Hill Gypsy. Name to Hill Gypsy.